Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video. If you want to watch and listen to my WWE Battleground 2014 review, do check out my channel. There's also a link in the description which will take you to that video and you can get my whole thoughts on the pay-per-view. But in my opinion, it sucked, so hopefully tonight's Monday Night Raw does make up for a very poor pay-per-view yesterday. So in this video, I'm going to preview everything, predict everything which could happen tonight on Monday Night Raw for the 21st of July 2014. Flo Rida is advertised to be a guest star on tonight's Monday Night Raw, so do expect there to be a segment where Flo Rida probably performs a new song, something like that. Sadly, we won't get Lesnar F5ing Flo Rida, but Flo Rida will be the guest star tonight on Monday Night Raw, so don't be too surprised when he starts singing a new song. According to F4W Online, Lesnar is set to return on Monday Night Raw. Also, Heyman tweeted, in case you are wondering, heading to pick up hashtag plan C ... just in case at WWE hashtag Raw. Holy shit, the Beast Incarnate is coming to Monday Night Raw. If you haven't read it already, it's pretty much set that Brock Lesnar will be on tonight's Monday Night Raw in Miami. You remember in 2012, the night after WrestleMania 28, when Brock Lesnar came out and then attacked John Cena, gave him the F5. This is in the exact same building that happened in Miami, and Brock Lesnar is returning to WWE to head to a program with John Cena at SummerSlam. But sadly, the build towards Lesnar and John Cena at SummerSlam, probably for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship now, will not start tonight on Raw, because Mike Johnson writes on PW Insider that Cena will not be appearing on Monday's Raw, as he will be on the set for the movie Trainwreck. So John Cena isn't on Raw this week. Wow, he retained his championship, but he isn't on Raw tonight. Wow. So that'll probably mean that Brock Lesnar will have a challenge to John Cena, maybe challenge him for the title at SummerSlam, something like that, but we'll have to wait longer for them to have a face-to-face confrontation in weeks to come. So tonight, it'll probably just have Paul Heyman and Lesnar telling Cena, we want that championship and we're challenging you tonight on Raw. Also, according to Wrestling Observer newsletter, Big Show could be returning at any time. Now that he's done filming the film Vendetta, Big Show has now finished that and he can now appear back on WWE TV. Now, as you know, usually a night after a pay-per-view on the Raw, they like to do something big, and that usually involves bringing somebody back, like a big return. Example, Rob Van Dam, the night after WrestleMania, RVD returned. The night after Money in the Bank, Chris Jericho returned, and so did The Miz. So, here we go. Big Show might return tonight on Monday Night Raw, because that would be a great opportunity to make him come back. Also, on WWE.com's preview for Raw, Wartsman hints that Wyatt will continue to seek Jericho out, writing, "Is Wyatt done preying on the best in the world at what he does? Now, don't expect Bray Wyatt to give up chasing Chris Jericho. He's not just going to shake his hand and say, yep, you beat me. Do expect us to head towards another match between Bray Wyatt and Chris Jericho at SummerSlam, so the build towards that match should continue tonight on Monday Night Raw." Also, Wartman's question. He says, will the Patriots unleash their counterattack on Raw? This is a suggestion that the rivalry between Rusev and Jack Swagger isn't over, and that Jack Swagger still needs to get revenge on Rusev because of him attacking Jack Swagger after the match. You remember he gave him his finishing move in the middle of the ring after the match. So it suggests that Jack Swagger needs to counter-attack Rusev and get payback back on Rusev, suggesting that this feud is still on and might continue all the way up until SummerSlam. We'll get an answer for that tonight on Raw. Also, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE's plan is to make The Miz and Sheamus rivalry a long-term one, and this might conclude with a unification of the US and IC championship and only having one champion for the mid-card belt. Whether that's going to happen at SummerSlam or maybe even Night of Champions might seem like a better pay-per-view to do it, it is suggesting that The Miz and Sheamus will have a feud and it will start at the pay-per-view SummerSlam. So that might start tonight. You do know that they did have a little bit of a short feud before the pay-per-view yesterday. You remember there was a bit of a feud between The Miz and Sheamus starting last week on Raw, and it looks like that's going to continue, but now that they're both champions, it's a lot more interesting and should head towards a SummerSlam match maybe for the unification of that mid-card championships. Also, since Daniel Bryan has been out for a hell of a long time, the spotlight, of course, is on Reigns as the top babyface. Does he now stay in contention for the WWE title, or does a more personal rivalry develop for Roman Reigns? Because now John Cena's heading to a rivalry with Brock Lesnar. Does that leave Reigns still in title contentions, or does he need to start a new, fresh feud that's a little bit more personal to Reigns himself, rather than chasing the championship quite like Daniel Bryan? Now, fans have been expecting a showdown between Reigns and Triple H ever since the Shield and Evolution began in a feud, so we might get the build towards that starting tonight on Raw. A lot of seeds have been planted to suggest the feud between Triple H and Roman Reigns will happen, and I'm really expecting that to start tonight on Raw, where we head towards the SummerSlam match between Reigns and Triple H at SummerSlam, and that can all start tonight on Raw. Also, lastly, Wortman writes on WWE.com, Ambrose will no doubt be hungry for retribution against the Authorities' aligned nemesis tonight in Miami. Now, do you remember last night at Battleground, the segments between Ambrose and Rollins were epic, and I cannot wait to see what WWE has in store for us tonight on Raw. If we get another parking lot brawl or something like that, it's going to be fucking epic, because last night's segments were great, and I cannot wait to see what they can do tonight on Raw between Rollins and Ambrose. I'm already bought on this storyline, I'm already into it, and I cannot wait what else they do to build this match for SummerSlam. What do you guys think? Are you excited for Raw, considering everything I've said? As always, like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe, take care, spike your hair.